Hello, I'm Ben. Welcome to the channel. So today we're going to talk about this book. This came out in 1996. It was a very studied book at the time, and there's been a lot of books written around the same subject matter. This one I think did a great job. It's called The Whole Brain Business Book, Unlocking the Power of the Whole Brain Thinking in Organizations and Individuals. And this is by Ned Herrmann. And basically the subject matter, it goes through the history of the study of the brain, and it talks about how we came up with intelligence and how we think about intelligence. But what this book does is it patterns the action based on a few things, based on your personality and what you like what things you key into, and then specifically what jobs fit well with these personalities. So I would suggest that anyone that's in hiring or in management or in leadership that has a business where they're staffing, that you read these and you understand them a little bit better. This is a great reference. It's something that I look at often when I'm talking about bringing people on and hiring folks. This book has a lot of suggestions on who would fit in what role. And it says the biggest piece about this is so basically you have four quadrants of your brain that have different subcategories on what they focus on. And it says that if you focus, you can use all four quadrants. One can be dominant, will always be dominant, but you could strengthen the other quadrants by what you read, how you do things, the activities that you participate in. So there's a point where you can actually grow and educate yourself based on where you understand where you're at. And it says in some way, the way we use our brain is a lot like that of a car radio. We can twirl the dial and get any station we like, but we also have the favorite stations that we program in, the ones we prefer to listen to more often. Saying the same thing is about that with the dominance of your brain. So it talks about A, B, C, and D. And just to give you a quick sample, and those that are majorly come from an A brain type situation, this is what those people do, okay? So a brain person is a rational self. A B brain person is a safekeeping self. A C brain person is a feeling self. And a D brain person is an experimental self. So the A brain person analyzes, quantifies, is logical, is critical, is realistic, likes numbers, knows about money, knows how things work. That's A. B brain people take preventative action, establish procedures, get things done, are reliable, organize things, is neat, timely, and makes plans. C, which is the feeling self, is sensitive to others, likes to teach, touches a lot, is supportive, is expressive, is emotional, talks a lot, and feels. And then D, the experimental self, is someone that infers a lot, imagines, speculates, takes risks, is impetuous, breaks rules, and likes surprises. Or they're curious or playful. So the book is chock full of charts like that, and I will push that in a little bit to see if you can read it. So that gives you, if you want to take a screenshot, there you go, of what brain is set up, what quadrant of the brain is set up to do what. And it's chock full of different things like that. And in later chapters, it talks about specific jobs that fall within a brain quadrant. And so I'll read some of that out very quickly. But this is a great book for people to look at if you're in the business world. And even though there are probably more modern thoughts around brain science and brain function, this is a pretty strong supplement to those and the way it acts. So, for instance, when it says an A brain person, financial occupations is good. An actuary, a treasurer, a manager, finance, VP of finance, bank manager, CFO, COO, all those positions like the ones that I've held, I'm very numerically motivated. Those things make good sense to me. The B quadrant occupations would be a foreman, a finance clerk, a bank teller, a record keeper, assembly line processors. These people are very neat and tidy and keep processes down. C quadrant are the ones that are creative and caring. That would be a school counselor, a nurse, a dental assistant, an elementary school teacher, social workers, daycare workers, rehab counseling, foreign language teachers. And then D quadrant oriented occupations are an entrepreneur, a graphic designer, an art decorator, an art director, a marketing consultant, interior designer. And then there's some that kind of go across all different quadrants. And that's what's cool, is based on how your brain is set up and what you prefer. the sky's the limit. But the book does suggest, with some significant historical data, that if you take a job that's a fit for where your brain dominance lies, that you will have more fulfillment from that job, and you could sustain that job because it's not as stressful for you, because that's how you naturally act. So that, to me, is worth saying. When you talk about industrial organizational psychology, that is one of the things that we discuss, is the burnout rate, and you won't burn out on things if they're fun to you. So that's why this is a great read. That's what it looks like once again. The Whole Brain Business Book by Ned Herrmann. So give that a shot. It's a good book. I picked it up by happenstance. I remember seeing it years ago and found it in the store recently and picked that up. And it actually is a pretty entertaining read because of all the stuff that it shows in there. It's got a bunch of graphs and things that make a lot of sense. So if you like subject matter like this, please like, please subscribe, please share. I'm Ben. Be good.